You will probably skip this video until you hear that one Alaska town just finished moving away from ground that was disappearing underneath it. Picture a town packing up its houses and hauling them away from the water, one building at a time. That is not a movie. That is happening right now in parts of Alaska. 10 towns made this list, and each one is under a different kind of pressure: erosion, storms, money, or all three at once. A 2025 assessment of indigenous villages across the state pointed to a major funding shortfall for communities facing these threats, and the 10 towns here show what that pressure looks like up close. Some of them you have probably never heard of until now. By the time we hit number 1, you will understand why staying stopped being an option. Most of these places still look normal on a map. They are not. Alaska is warming far faster than the global average, and that pace is already reshaping coastlines and river edges across the western and northern parts of the state. Keep watching, because the final town on this list is one of the most documented relocation stories in the country, and the reason it had to happen will surprise you. Every town here is dealing with its own kind of pressure, and you are about to see exactly how. 10. Hooper Bay. No roads in or out. Supplies and fuel depend on air service and seasonal marine deliveries, making the community vulnerable to delays and high transport costs. Remote villages like this one often see fuel prices set by whatever a barge shipment costs that season, with no competing supplier to shop around. They wait for the next delivery window, and if a shipment gets delayed, the whole town feels it. Heat is not optional at 40 below. 9. King Cove. This fishing town of roughly 700 people has long depended on commercial fishing and seafood processing, alongside ongoing access and transportation challenges common to remote coastal Alaska. Like many fishing towns in the region, it has felt pressure from shifting seafood markets and processing changes. Reporting on Alaska's seafood industry has linked King Cove to a budget shortfall of several $1 million after the operator of its fish processing plant was forced into receivership by creditors, leaving the plant idle. A town this size cannot easily absorb a hole that big. 2 towns down, 8 to go, and each one finds a new way to hurt. Some lose money, some lose land. A few are about to lose both at once, and the next stretch shows exactly how. 8. St. Paul. Around 330 people live on this small remote island in the Bering Sea, one of the Pribilof Islands, far from any other town. For years, the local economy has been closely tied to crab processing. When that industry slowed down, it put real pressure on local jobs and town finances. Reporting tied to the seafood industry has linked the closure of the island's crab processing plant in late 2022, described as once the largest private employer and taxpayer on the island, to a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall for the city. The island's supply chain depends on costly air and marine transport. There is no quick backup plan on an island this remote. 7. Dillingham. This town sits near some of the most productive salmon fisheries on Earth, which makes its economic strain easy to overlook. Under Alaska's limited entry fishery system, created in the 1970s to manage the number of boats on the water, permits can be bought and sold on the open market. Over the decades, rising permit prices and operating costs have made it harder for some local families in Bristol Bay communities to stay in the industry. The fish keep running. The economics of catching them have gotten tougher, and that gap between abundance and affordability is easy to miss from the outside. Here is where storm damage starts showing up on this list. The next 3 towns have all dealt with sudden, severe events, not just slow change. 6. Quinhagak. Coastal erosion and storm surge have threatened culturally significant archaeological sites near Quinhagak. Severe storms in recent years have torn into shoreline that once protected Yupik artifacts preserved in the ground for centuries. Researchers have worked to excavate and recover items before further loss, racing against each new storm season. The town keeps watching the coastline, aware that the next storm season could take more of it, taking pieces of its own history with it. 5. Nunapitchuk. Flooding has added to housing pressure in Nunapitchuk, where the village already had a tight housing shortage before the water damage hit. Past floods have left homes uninhabitable, pushing displaced residents to double up with friends and family in a village that was already short on housing. Thawing permafrost and flooding risk have pushed the community to weigh relocation alongside rebuilding, a decision that brings its own costs and uncertainty. Rebuilding is difficult because remote construction costs run far higher than in Alaska's urban centers, since materials have to be flown or barged in. 4. Kwethluk. Stand here and you can watch the riverbank lose ground year over year. Kwethluk is a Yupik community in western Alaska that, like other river communities in the region, faces ongoing erosion that threatens homes and public buildings, including housing along the Kuskokwim Slough. Statewide assessments of indigenous villages have pointed to widespread ongoing exposure to erosion, flooding, and permafrost degradation, with estimated long-term costs running into the billions of dollars over time. Mitigation work here is expensive and slow, as it is in many Alaska communities dealing with the same pressures, and gathering the data needed to qualify for government funding adds its own cost and delay before any work even begins. 4 towns left. This is where it stops being slow and starts being sudden, fast enough to catch entire villages off guard. 3. Kipnuk and Quigilingok. In October 2025, the remnants of Typhoon Halong caused severe flooding and displacement in these 2 villages, with damaging hurricane-force winds. Homes were knocked off their foundations and entire neighborhoods flooded. Hundreds, and by some counts close to 2,000, residents across the affected region were displaced. The storm triggered one of the largest evacuations in state history, with helicopters pulling survivors off broken, flooded runways and flying many to Anchorage with whatever they could carry. Some still do not know when or if they will move back. 2. Shishmaref. Shishmaref is a low-lying island community in the Chukchi Sea facing severe coastal erosion, and relocation remains under discussion. Federal reports going back to the early 2000s have named Shishmaref among the Alaska villages most threatened by erosion, and residents have weighed relocation proposals over the years without reaching a finished plan. The shoreline keeps shrinking while the discussion continues, and the island gets a little smaller with every passing storm season. Climax. This is the part most people have never heard the full story on, and once you do, you will understand why this town tops the list and why its story is not actually over yet. 1. Nutok. Nutok has experienced severe erosion for decades, with the riverbank reportedly losing around 70 feet some years. That kind of loss turns long-term planning into something closer to a countdown. Nutok has been relocating to Murdervik in one of the best-known climate-driven relocation efforts in the United States, and current reporting says the last residents have now moved, with the old town site's critical infrastructure shut down for good. But the relocation is not finished in any simple sense. Housing and basic services at Murdervik are still being built out, and the community continues working through funding and infrastructure gaps even after the move itself, proving that leaving the land was only the first half of the work. 10 towns, 1 state. 10 different ways of losing ground, and 1 town that already finished the hardest part of leaving. Addressing erosion, flooding, and infrastructure risk across Alaska's rural communities carries a price tag that runs into the billions over time, with no single funding source covering it all. The story for most of these towns is still being written, 1 storm, 1 budget meeting, and 1 barge delivery at a time. Nutok's old town site is empty now. Murdervik still is not finished.